Hello Etheria Restart newbies, this is Suspect Amy, and I'm here to do a quick video about why I think most players are sleeping on pulling duplicates as a way to make their heroes significantly stronger. I'll compare Etheria to Epic 7 and Honkai Star Rail when it comes to their summon systems and the benefits of duplicate farming. Let's start with how useful duplicate copies are in these games. In a game like Honkai Star Rail, duplicate copies, called Eidolons, are insanely powerful and custom-tuned for every hero. They give huge improvements to your stats and abilities, especially when you get to the 6th Eidolon. For example, let's look at everyone's favorite hero, Kafka. She gets increased dot effect chance, increased dot damage, skill and basic attack level ups, gains energy from shock damage, ultimate and talent level ups. And at Eidolon 6, her shock damage increases by 156% and lasts an extra turn, which is just ridiculous. Now you can see why people spend the GDP of a small nation to try and max out their favorite heroes. This is very pay to win, obviously, but HSR can get away with it because there's no PvP in their game. If you're just fighting bosses and clearing story content, making the duplicate system ridiculously overpowered is okay. Let's take a look at an actual PvP game like Epic 7. This is a turn-based game very similar to Etheria Restart. Their duplicate system, which is called imprinting, is extremely underwhelming. You can choose to give a small buff to some teammates or give yourself a larger buff. Let's take a hero like Charlotte. You only need 5 extra copies of a hero to max out their imprints, not 6 like in Honkai Star Rail. If you max imprint Charlotte, you either give your teammates around 11% more attack, or give yourself 18% more attack. You can see that every extra copy you obtain gives you only 3% more attack. Spending money on summoning for extra copies for 3% more attack is a huge waste, so this makes Epic 7 much less pay to win and helps ensure whales don't have a ridiculous advantage in PvP. Now let's look at Etheria Restart. Their duplicate system is called Prowess, and like Epic 7, you only need 5 extra copies of a hero to max it out. The effects change based on the class of the hero, but for a damage dealer, here's what you get at max prowess. 10% more attack, 10% more defense, 10% more health, 12% more crit damage, 8% more crit rate, 10% extra damage, and you take 10% less damage. That is just an insane amount of stats for a PvP game. If a whale maxes out their heroes and fights a free-to-play player, there's literally no chance they can compete with that stat difference, even with identical gear and skill-ups. So, does this make Etheria Restart pay to win? Actually, I'm not so sure. Getting duplicates in Etheria Restart is significantly easier than in other games. Let's compare the summon systems and see how Etheria stacks up. Honkai Star Rail has the dreaded 50-50 pity system. The banner is a mix of light cones and heroes. The drop rate for a 5-star hero is 0.6%. This is not 0.6% for the banner hero, it's 0.6% to get any 5-star hero. If you do get one, there's only a 50% chance it's the banner hero. If you miss on the 50-50, then your next 5-star is guaranteed to be the banner hero. You're guaranteed a 5-star after 90 pulls. So if you have the worst luck possible, you'll get the banner hero after 180 pulls. You need 1,600 currency to do a single 10 pull. If you buy this currency from the shop at normal rates, it'll cost about $26. So worst case scenario, getting one copy of the banner hero will cost you $468. That's a terrible summon system. Pulling duplicates in Honkai Star Rail is incredibly expensive and difficult, which is probably why the power from duplicates is so insane in that game. The only small positives in HSR are that the shop where you spend currency from extra dupes is decent. You can buy more summons there, and the pity carries over to new banners. Now let's look at Epic 7's summon system. It's pretty simple. The banners include heroes and artifacts mixed together. The banner hero has a 1% drop rate. There are no other 5-star heroes on the banner, so any 5-star you pull will be the banner hero. You're guaranteed to get the hero after 120 summons. It costs 950 sky stones for a single 10 pull, and if you buy these at normal prices, it's about $30. With horrible luck, it'll cost around $360 to get one copy of the banner hero. This is much better than Honkai Star Rail, but still very expensive. The saving grace is that duplicate copies don't really give significant power boosts in Epic 7, so they can pretty much be ignored. A couple more negatives about Epic 7. The summon shop for extra pulls is terrible value, and the pity does not carry over to similar banners. Now for the Etheria Restart summon system. There are only heroes on the banner, no mixing. I'll cover this a bit more later. SSR heroes have a 1% drop rate. Like Epic 7, there's only one SSR on the banner, so anytime you pull an SSR, it will be the banner hero. You're guaranteed the hero after 80 pulls. It costs 1,000 Hydra Crystals for a single 10 pull, which ends up being about $16.50 if you have to buy it. So worst case scenario, it will cost you $132 for one copy of a hero. Other positives in Etheria. Remember how I said they only have heroes on the banner? This means you end up maxing out your R and SR rarity heroes very easily, which gives you a ton of currency for the summon shop. The summon shop is quite good. It includes perfect lattices, red shadow prints, and more summons. Also, pity always carries over for similar banners. The game seems to be very generous with summon currency. I feel like I get a 10 pull every few days. So if you compare the summon systems for these three games, it really looks like Etheria Restart was specifically designed by the devs to encourage players to pull duplicates as part of hero progression. And this is never talked about by content creators. In a PvP game, any advantage you can get over your opponent can be the difference between winning and losing. And I think this is a slept-on way to get that advantage. I've seen content creators only pull for one copy of a hero and specifically tell their viewers that duplicates are worthless. I think this is a bit misunderstood, and I hope my video helps you form your own opinion on this topic. Anyways, next time that hot new PvP unit is on a standard banner, you should strongly consider getting a few extra copies to help with your arena climb. That's all I have today. Thanks for watching my video. Bye everyone.